everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, if you haven't figured that out by now. And today I have my loverly friend, Sabina, as my co-host.
Hello,
Sabina.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, it's always nice to freak out the guests before we get on the show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
do a good job of it, too.
Yeah. And I don't normally do that either. Well, today we are very happy to have with us TV and film actor, producer, and writer Gary-Cairns. And I hope I say your name right. I didn't ask you ahead of time.
Close enough.
What is
better
it?
Than it's Cairns.
Cairns, okay. Thank you.
With the air in there, yeah. Better than my high school teachers ever said, so.
Why?
That's good. They ever said Cairns. I was like, there's an R in there. I was like,
oh.
So I never, if they call roll, I didn't answer if they didn't say it right. And I was like, I don't know who that is, so. Yeah.
Well, what kind of teachers are those that they can't see the R? I mean, they're supposed to be teaching you how to pronounce things.
It's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Welcome to school system.
Yeah. Well, I hope you learned well, even though you had teachers like that.
Yeah, more on the street than anything, but, I learned something. I learned about history and PE I was great at, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't one of my favorite classes, PE. I just found it annoying.
Either. Mhm.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
PE,
I think guys like it better.
Yeah, give me basketball, I'll get an A. It's all good.
There you go. Well, tell us a little bit about Gary. Like, when you were growing up, what did you want to be? Did you always want to be an actor, or did you go with the fireman, policeman kind of thing first?
Never one of those. I was always afraid of fire. So it was always a baseball player. I was fascinated by it. I used to live up north in Modesto, and I used to go to Oakland A's games and played Little League, and got pretty far in the playoffs, and I just lived, breathed it. And that was the thing. And till one day I snuck in actually to one of my cousin Kim's high school plays, and I was fascinated by what was going on stage, and I was like, I want to do that. And so I signed up for an acting class, and I remember my first little on-camera thing I had to do was like a Jack in the Box commercial, like for the class, and my knees were just shaking.
Oh.
But I couldn't. I don't know. I was just thrilled by it, and I don't know, conquered the fear and just kept coming.
So you don't have stage fright anymore, then?
No, actually, I'm like quite the opposite. I'm more afraid off the stage than I am.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like I'm like a hermit. So I get outside, I don't know what to do. Give me on set.
Yeah.
That's where I feel alive.
Give me work.
Yeah, please, keep me busy. I'm going to go insane.
Do you have ADD when you're not working?
I don't know. I always think that. I hear people, I got this ADD, I got this, and that. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I'd say I'm definitely not normal.
No.
When it comes to that. So, but I'm always working. If I'm at home, I'm creating now. I write. I'm always working with my producing partners, and it's just, there's no such thing as downtime for an artist, I believe. So,
that's
either you're creating or you're not. Period.
Right. Now, what was it like to see yourself on TV for the first time?
Embarrassing. Very embarrassed.
Why?
Yeah. Because you're sitting with your family, and they're like, oh, my God, hey. And I'm just like, it's just a commercial or whatnot. I'm like, please. So it was just extremely embarrassing for what I remember. I still don't really like it, to be honest. So I can't sit in the audience when I have a premiere. I don't. It's very nerve-wracking.
Well, you probably are nervous to hear what the comments will be, I would imagine.
Yeah, most of the time in person, at least, it's always good. They praise you, so I don't know if it's, buttering up. I don't know. But then again, who wants to come up and say, oh, we hated this to your face? I don't know. So you kind of take the good with the bad. And like I said, just me being shy in person at all the premieres. Once I get going, I'm good. It's just giving me that kick in the butt to get in the studio or the theater. Once I'm in, I'm okay. But it's so tough to make that drive to
right.
go. I'm driving to go with these people. It's crazy.
Well, do you find that you critique yourself more because you've been on both sides of the camera?
What's that? Can you read that? Sorry.
Do you find that you critique yourself more because you've been on both sides of the camera?
More so now, yeah. So I guess it's like any artist. We're truly our own worst enemy and best or worst critic. But I'm getting to a point now where I feel confident with the material I choose, with the people around me, the directors that are working with me. So, like on my last few projects, I just I can go home and rest easy, going, okay, you know, I believe in who I'm working with now, and that's
mm-hmm.
my biggest thing is that truly is. Before I wasn't so confident with it because you don't know, you kind of work with amateurs half the time, and you know, early on in your career, it happens with everybody. I guess it's just learning as you go.
Right.
But I'm much more confident now.
Well, that's always a good thing because you need to be confident in yourself to know that you're doing the best that you can do, and it's something that everybody else enjoys and compliments you on.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed, too, the shows and movies that you do are predominantly horror. Is that something you choose? Is that your forte? How did you end up doing that?
Semi more recent, or just like thriller dramas have been for what's been released. Hold on, I'm getting distracted at the moment. The horrors, it's just more, like I said, it's more recent. It's mainly the material that came my way that I've liked, that has been available, that's fit my schedule. Like Night Visitor came out of nowhere 2 months ago, and then I was like literally had like 4 days to prep, and not even, and then we were filming. Black Butterflies last year. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's in a horror vein. It's kind of like such a unique movie. There's really nothing like it. But I guess you can say it definitely has a horror element. I'd say it's more of like a thriller. But that material, like I said, just came to me. I was lucky enough to book it, and Brian and Lo Avenay, they were, I don't know, I'm so indebted to them for giving me the opportunity to play that role and put me opposite Brad Dourif. But I don't know, it's not all horror. It's just kind of like recently, like just in the past year and a half. I even threw in a Christian movie over what was it, October? You know, it's just like random, so last minute. So, and that's the opposite of horror.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a horror making it, though. I'll throw that out there. not to hurt feelings, but.
Well, I think it's so awesome that The Night Visitor was fully funded for post-production, and I can't wait to see it. Tell our listeners about your part in that movie.
Yeah, I play Cochran, who's just a lovable guy, I like to say. He had some mishaps, some wrongdoings that got him kicked out of his house and away from his wife, who was played by the great Breanne Davis. And, you know, he gets back home, tries to rekindle his marriage, and all this stuff is happening with the house and this boy and this visitor or whatever it is, this entity, and the whole time I'm trying to rekindle this relationship with my wife through role playing, you know, as you see through the trailer. So without giving too much away, I mean, it's really that. I mean, it's not, there's those found footage movies, but this one actually has like a drama story within it, which that's, for me as an actor, that's what I loved. It was like I actually get to play a role in this style of filmmaking, or else I wouldn't have been into that style. But I mean, I really dug it. Jennifer Blanc had a vision. We went with it, and Mark and everyone just executed in such a short period of time. It was unbelievable. But it was a great process, and I'm so glad that they were able to fully fund the post. And I'm sure, knowing Jen and Mark, you'll see some more than that quick. I mean, those guys do not mess around.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, they're on the ball.
That's probably why they haven't been on Twitter too much, because they're working back over there, getting it done, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're on Twitter, it's, you know, you'll see it, and when they're not, you know they're buried.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, this isn't the only movie you've been in with Jennifer Blancbean. How did you end up together in Night Visitor and Black Butterflies?
I met her on Black Butterflies. She was casted early on, and they were still looking for the lead, which I ended up luckily getting, booking. And I met her just on set. We clicked it. Worked a couple of days with her, and we just kept in touch throughout the past, year, pretty much close to a year, and just through text, Twitter, the wonderful world of Twitter.
Yeah.
And she hit me up and was like, send me your reel. So I sent her, I think it was a new reel that I had that's not online, only private, because it has some footage of Black Butterflies that can't release yet. And she watched it, and they booked me. They're like, boom, everyone approves, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, send me the script. And so I didn't have a script, so I'll give it to you in a couple of days. I was like, oh no. And then we had it. I read it, and I was like, let's do it. I'm on.
Yeah, well, it looks like a really, really good movie just from the trailer and what they wrote about it, of course, during their Kickstarter time, and all the actors I enjoy that I've seen on there, especially that little boy. He's very talented. Where did they find him?
They found him. Hudson. He's a little trooper, just ball of energy. Took great direction. It's weird because I haven't worked with a child like that except my own son, but a completely different style. But yeah, Hudson, Jen knew somebody that knew his mom, or however it worked out, and I met him just through that process, and he was really easy to work with. And his mom's great on-stage mom. Sometimes they're really in your face. Janine, his mom, is just wonderful. So I think that's where he gets his talent and ease from, is having a good foundation at home. At least, for his mother. I really think that really helps him. Yeah,
I think so, too. Because you've seen it, written in TMZ and all those other places, the horrible stage parents that are out there, and then you see their children, what they're doing, and you kind of think, well, that's got to be connected. So as long as you have a good stage parent, then I think you'll have a good son or daughter as an actor.
Yeah. Hopefully, I've seen some crazy stage moms, though, man, crazy. And that actually ruins the whole vibe of the set. And one bad seed can send bad energy throughout. So that set, Night Visitor set, was a joy the whole time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. My daughter wanted to be an actress. Actually, her words when she was like 2 and 3 years old was, I want to be a star, I want to be a movie star. And I always wondered, what kind of stage mom I would have been, but I don't think I would have been one of those insane ones. I pretty much go with the flow unless something's wrong for my child. That's it, and that's how you should be.
Yeah.
So tell us about Black Butterflies. When does that come out? What's that about?
Well, coming out, I'm not sure. I actually just saw, it's not the final cut, but I'd say it's about 98%. Just a couple special effect little inserts and maybe a couple sound things for what Brian, the director, had said. But I just saw it like a week ago, and I loved it. And usually I'm such like I'm not too big of a fan, but this to me is a great little movie. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I play this character named Alex, who he's grieving, alcoholic. He's lost his wife, and he basically drinks his sorrows away. And a stranger comes along and tries to help him in very unorthodox ways, and it just builds up from there. It gets more chaotic, and without giving too much away, so I don't know what I was able to not say, but it builds up.
Oh, that's okay. We understand that, yeah.
So, and that